Dogs. Fort Scott taking game one last night. Bryan looking to bounce back here tonight. You'll hear it right here on the Bryan Yard Dog YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us for another night of baseball. Second to last game of this 12-game homestand for the Yard Dogs. And it's been a long run past few weeks, Will Fain. But it's going to be a good one here tonight. Good ball game last night. Late rally by the Yard Dogs. Just couldn't get it done as Fort Scott able to get the first game between these two in the homestand, right? First series was a 3-game sweep by Bryan. Fort Scott battled back last night. What are some of your takeaways?
I think it was nice to see that, the Yard Dog offense was able to string together some hits, just not too many in a row to score some of those runs as we saw. I want to say we had 9 hits there, just off of 5 runs, and a couple of those you were able to manufacture without any hits. Like we saw, we had those first 3 runs there in the first couple innings. Some solid defense, it was a pretty clean game, no errors or anything. That was another clean takeaway I saw. Excited to see what we'll have tonight. Hopefully the offense stays how it is. Pretty
Absolutely. Hot. It was an 8-6 win for Fort Scott. That sent the Yard Dogs to 19-19 on the season. Fort Scott improved to 21-15 as Fort Scott remains in second place. They're 7.5 games out of first behind Nacogdoches. Bryan in fourth, final playoff spot as we approach the end of the season here in just a couple of weeks. Yard Dogs 10.5 games out of the playoff spot, first place in the MAL as the Dragoons swinging the sticks first tonight against Aiden Quintilla, 5'7", 165-pound right-hander out of Garden City Community College from Carlsbad, New Mexico. He'll be facing Julian Gaston out of Randall University to lead things off here in the top of the first. This righty-lefty matchup starts us off, and the first pitch comes home. It misses up and away for ball one. Julian last night, a couple of hits for him, an RBI and a run scored. He also walked and struck out twice. Quintilla delivers the 1-0 home, and it swung on and fouled away to even up the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Seen Aiden make a few appearances, some starts, a few appearances out of the bullpen, so a reliable, versatile arm for Coach Sean Byington. 1-1's lined into right field. Burgess in his tracks puts it away for out number 1.
And kind of like just some of the infield defense and outfield defense even, you've seen people kind of mismatch around. We've seen people play first, third, left field, right field. It's nice to have pitchers that can come in out of the bullpen and start as well.
Here's Samuel Padilla, the right fielder. Bats from the right side here. That's really what these summer leagues are about, right? You're coming here to make yourself a better ball player, and these guys, how do you do that, right? Be a player that your team can reliably put you anywhere, as the first pitch into Padilla is taken for a strike.
A lot of two-way guys as well that'll pitch and play.
One of those is Isaac Borges, who's out in right field tonight. Him just made the catch for the first out. Pretty elite bullpen arm this summer so far, but tonight going to get a chance to hit. It's a 1-1 count here to Samuel Padilla. Ooh, 1-1 up and in. It's 2-1 now.
We've even seen Quintilla play some shortstop and second base out in the field.
Good point. Samuel last night, 1 hit, 2 walks, reached on an error, scored 2 runs. 2-1s popped into shallow left center. Riley coming in, the center fielder, makes a catch for out number 2. So 2 flyouts to start us off here in the top of the first inning. Nobody on for Ulysses Hernandez, the first baseman.
Next up, first baseman number 13, Ulysses Hernandez.
Hernandez, 2 hits last night, an RBI. Tried to steal, but was caught by Taylor Valerius, who's back behind the plate. Valerius threw out 2 base runners last game, I should say. The first pitch to the lefty Hernandez comes home, and it's a fastball up and away for ball 1. It's Isaac Borges in right, Tegan Riley in center, and Hunter Barros out in left field. 1-0 on the outside corner, called strike 1. Jake Wiley will play first base tonight for the Yard Dogs. Gavin Shaddix at second, Tanner Pachorik at short. and Rylan Sawyers at third. Taylor Valerius behind the plate. This one lined into the right center field gap. Going to be a tough play for Riley. He's on the move, and he gets there. And it's 3 flyouts in the top of the first. A 1-2-3 inning for Adam Cantilla as we go to the bottom half of the first inning. Bryan offense going to work for the first time tonight. Come on back. This is Bryan Yard Dog Baseball. Yard Dogs coming to swing the six for the first time tonight. Here's how Coach Byington will line them up. It's Gavin Shaddix, the second baseman, leading off. Batting second, Tegan Riley, the center fielder. Jake Wiley, the first baseman, bats third. Batting fourth, Justice Brinson, the DH. Hitting fifth tonight, Tanner Pachoric, the shortstop out of Lubbock Christian. Hunter Barros in left, he'll bat sixth. Taylor Valerius, the catcher, batting seventh. Batting eighth is Isaac Borges, the right fielder. And Rylan Sawyers, a third baseman, bats ninth out of Central Baptist to finish up the starting nine for the home team. Jared Willett will be on the mound tonight for Fort Scott. Jared was the acting manager yesterday evening for Fort Scott. He comes in making his fifth start. He's 3-2, a 7.64 ERA, 33 innings pitched, 42 strikeouts. So a lot of swing and miss in Jared Willett, the right-hander out of Thomas College. First pitch swinging. This one popped into foul territory, first base side. Gavin Shaddix is going to foul out on the first pitch he sees. It's Ulysses Hernandez who tracks it down over in the Fort Scott bullpen. So just like that, Tegan Riley.
Next up for Bryan, center fielder number 23, Tegan Riley.
Riley out of Ohlone College. Center fielder bats from the right side. Out of the windup goes Jared Willett. First pitch to Riley comes home. Fastball in there, called strike one. Riley in his fifth game here with the Yard Dogs, actually a few more than that, as he shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's 1-1.
So we should see both pitchers kind of fill up the strike zone a little bit
Yeah,
tonight.
I was intrigued when I saw the numbers from Willett, as it's a 2-1 count to Tegan Riley. That 42 strikeouts and 33 innings pitched, that's a crazy K per 9 clip. Whip was good too. So not a guy that's going to walk too many people, as this one's sent into center field on a line. And putting it away is Gaston for out number 2. Something about the way Julian Gaston fields balls out in center field gets me every time, because the way he puts up his hands makes it look like he loses the ball in the sun, but he hasn't had any issues in this series so far.
But he does it like that almost every time.
So he gets me again. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Jake Wiley out of St. Edwards will dig in, the first baseman. Mainstay in the lineup for quite some time for the Yard Dogs. He's hitting .239 coming into this one. .478 on base, so that's a guy who will take his walks and be hit by pitches. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup and a 1-0 count to him. Well, its next offering is downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. It's Padilla in right field, Samuel Padilla, I should say. His presumably brother, Thomas, is at shortstop for Fort Scott.
I think we could say brother.
Related somehow, same exact spelling. It's 3-0 now to Jake Wiley. Julian Gaston in center. Zion Lewis in left field. Over at first is Ulysses Hernandez. Mauser is at second. Padilla at short. Burnett at third. 3-0 auto take on for Jake Wiley, and it's called strike 1. And Cedric Polnitz the second back behind the dish tonight. No wrapping on that arm that got dinged up last night after taking a bat off of a backswing. 3-1 sent into center field. Gaston will test me once again, but that one he made look easy as he catches it for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning for the Yard Dogs, and we're scoreless through 1 here on a Wednesday night out at Travis Field. More action on the other side. This is Bryan Yard Dog Baseball. Dogs. He'll be facing 4-5-6 due up for Fort Scott. Cedric Polnitz the second. The catcher will lead things off, followed by Jackson Burnett and Zion Lewis. Polnitz the second last night. Reached base once. He drew a bases loaded walk in the 6th. Part of a 2-run inning that allowed Fort Scott to kind of pull away late in that one. Righty-righty matchup here as Cantilla's first pitch comes home. And it's a pitch low for ball 1.
First inning pretty efficient as Quintilla was just at 10 pitches. So hope to see that trend continue here.
A good streak of lengthy starts for Bryan as it's quickly 2-0 to Polnitz the second. Love to see that trend continue here tonight. This one chopped on the ground to the right side. It's Shaddix, the second baseman, up with it. Over to first and plenty of time to retire. Pulnitz, the second for out number 1. But if we look back, Garrett Pennington last night goes 5 innings. On Sunday, Eric Glenwinkle goes 6. Matthew Dene, 6. This is all the way back to Friday night. Galindo goes 6 2/3, so works into the 7th. Dane Francis, the shortest start so far in this homestand, and he goes 4 innings. I should say in this last week, not necessarily in the homestand as a total. That was all the way back to Thursday night. Here Jackson Burnett has a 1-0 count, make it 2-0 as that one misses in. Burnett out of Hartnell College. Cantilla battles back on the outside corner, called strike 1. Two-one, fouled away.
That's another First Financial Bank foul ball.
2-2. Slider just up and in. The count is run full.
Starting to get a little wind coming in.
3-2 on the outside corner, called strike 3. Aiden Cantilla picks up his first strikeout of the night. And there are 2 down, nobody on in the top of the second. Great pitch there from Cantilla.
Left fielder number 12, Zion Lewis.
Now Zion Lewis, the left fielder, will dig in. Oh, pitch, check swing, appeal down to first on Lewis, and he goes around for strike 1. Oh, 1. That one, slider that got away from Cantilla, evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Last night, Lewis 0 for 4, drew a walk, stole a base, and scored. One. Inside, evens the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. Or takes the count to 2 balls, 1 strike, pardon me. No score with 2 down, nobody on for Fort Scott here on a Wednesday evening. Cool breeze blowing in from center. Not nearly as bad as it was last night in terms of wind. It's a 3-1 count here to Lewis.
Yeah, you could really see the wind hit some of those balls a certain way last night.
This one sent down the right field line. Will it stay fair? No. Tails out of play. And the count will be run full. So Aiden Cantilla here trying to work another 1-2-3 inning. A full count to Zion Lewis with 2 outs and nobody on. Cantilla, first base side of the rubber, winds and deals the 3-2. Foul back, and we'll do it all again.
That's a First Financial Bank.
Shadows, obviously always a factor in the early going in the first few innings out at Travis Field with home plate in the sun. Pitcher's mound in the sun, but the lead up to the plate in the shade as the 3-2 misses outside. And the first base runner of the game is aboard for Fort Scott. Lewis draws a 2-out walk. Now Thomas Padilla, the shortstop.
So let's cheer on our pitcher for that strikeout.
Thomas played second last night. He was 1 for 4. Had a single in the third. First pitch to Padilla misses outside for ball 1. That one fouled back. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Quintilla working out of the stretch for the first time tonight. He comes set with the glove at the numbers. The 1-1 pulled down and away. A little awkward landing there for Aiden. Lewis, aggressive lead over at first. He did steal a base last night. Holding him on is Jake Wiley. 1-1 pitch, up and in. Make that 3-1 now. And Quintilla, after getting 2 quick outs, pitch away from back-to-back walks.
The zone
yeah.
here.
Here's a 3-1 pitch. That one fouled away, and the count is run full. Trevor Newby, the man that closed it out for the Dragoons last night on the mound, is on deck. He will be the DH tonight. The 3-2 breaking ball chopped right back to the mound, and Quintilla has an easy flip over to first. So Aiden works around the 2-out walk, strains a man over at first, and we're still scoreless through 1.5. Come on back. More Bryan Yard Dog baseball on the other side. Will lead off the bottom of the second. No score between Fort Scott and Bryan. Nick Savage, Will Fain with you here on the Bryan Yard Dog YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight wherever you may be. As Brinson out of Santa Rosa Junior College shows bunt, puts it in play up the third base line. Willett will trap the field, and he's able to. Good play by Jared Willett coming off the mound to his right and making a good throw over to first to retire. Justice Brinson with a little ambush there, trying to bunt his way onto first.
Well executed by Brinson, but even better executed by the pitcher there.
Yeah.
Up next, our shortstop.
Tanner Pachork,
Number 9,
shortstop
Tanner
out of Lubbock
Pachork.
Christian University, will stand in. Pachork last night had a hit, scored a run, reached on an error in the 9th to lead things off. Came around to score, but it was just too little too late in the 8-6 Yard Dog loss. It's a 1-0 count to Pachork. Yard Dogs have lost 3 straight. Fort Scott now on a 2-game winning streak coming out of their extended double-digit game losing streak that They were coming in here off of ending that. It's a 1-1 count here to Pachork. Nobody on, 1 out, bottom of the second. No score between these two. Jared Willett winds and deals. Laced foul, first base side.
That's a First Financial Bank.
A little bit of a different start compared to last night's game where we had a couple runs scored in the first, second, and third.
Willett ready with the 1-2 here to Tanner Pachork. Fastball in on the hands. He swings and fights it off to stay alive. Willett with the new baseball back onto the rubber. He works from the first base side. The righty kicks and deals the 1-2. That's high to Pachork. Count's evened up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pachork softly fouled off. Hernandez, the first baseman, giving it a look, but it just falls in front of the Fort Scott dugout. And Tanner Pachork still battling here with Jared Willett.
About to be the 7th pitch of the AB here.
Again, Fort Scott not with the full roster here with them. They do have some available arms, so not in dire straits. Trevor Newby went a long way in setting them up good for the rest of this series. 2-2 misses down and away, and it's 3-2 to Willett.
Yeah, talking about pitching depth, Newby really helped him out last night.
3-2. That one way outside, ball 4. So Tanner Pachork draws the walk, and with the ball all the way to the backstop, hustles down to first and fakes rounding first to try to go to second for the extra 90. So 1 out base runner here in the bottom of the second for the Yard Dogs.
University left fielder number 3, Hunter Barrows.
And it's Hunter Barrows, left fielder, digging in. Barrows playing this last season at Temple College. Righty-righty matchup here. Barrows 2 RBI singles last night. He'll take ball 1 outside. Like you mentioned, Will, Trevor Newby took over in the 2nd inning, and he goes 7 1/3 innings strong. Only gives up 3 runs and gets the win for Fort Scott. Checked on Pachork. He slid back in safely. One out outside. Balls, no strikes. Willett losing a little feel here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Was ahead of Pachork, but lost him via the walk, and now 2 straight balls to Hunter Barrows. (2-0) is up and in. 3 balls and no strikes now. There comes the 3-0. In there, taken for strike 1. There goes the runner. Pitch was inside, and it's a walk. Did he call that a strike?
I guess.
So it's a strike. It'll be a full count, and Pachork's thrown out by pulling it to second. That one looked inside from up here, but again, doesn't matter what we think. It's a full count, And there's 2 down in the inning. Tanner Petrorik thrown out, trying to swipe second. The payoff. That one's outside, ball 4. And Hunter Barros will basically take Petrorik's place over at first. Back-to-back walks there for Jared Willett. Here comes Taylor Valerius, the catcher for the Yard Dogs. He's out of Clarendon College, will bat from the right side. Valerius last night, 1 for 4. Got a hit in the 8th, walked. So reaching base a couple times. Willett out of the stretch, the first pitch to Valerius, sent sky high right field. Padilla coming in, still coming in, and puts it away for out number 3. Yard Dogs get a man over at first base. Can't move him. Still scoreless through 2. We go to the top of the 3rd inning between Fort Scott and Bryan. You're listening to Yard Dog Baseball. Field on a Wednesday night. Fort Scott and Bryan. It'll be 8-9-1 due up in the inning for Fort Scott. Here's Trevor Newby, the DH out of Newman University, and it is a ball outside to start off Newby, who will bat from the left side. Swinging the pink bat. Swing and a miss at the 1-0 offering. It's 1-1. Like I mentioned, Newby came out of the pen in the 2nd inning for Fort Scott last night and shut down the Yard Dogs. Led the team to the win. This one chopped to the left side of the infield. It's Sawyers with his first play of the night, and it's over to first in time to get Trevor Newby for out number 1 in the top of the 3rd. Now the 9-hole hitter, Bodie Mauser, the second baseman.
Second baseman, number 18, Bodie Mauser.
Bodie, a sac fly in the 2nd last night, also a double and a triple. 2 RBIs on the evening. First pitch, front door slider in there for a strike. That fastball just runs away from Aiden Cantillo there. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1, fouled off. Jake Wiley gives it a look, but it will tail out of play.
That is indeed a First Financial Bank foul ball.
One-two on the way here from Quintilla. Slider lined right at Shaddix. He'll field on a hop and over to first. Out number 2. Brody Mouser laying out in the 3rd inning with nobody on to try to beat that one out, but instead he's retired and there's no one on for Julian Gaston, the leadoff hitter.
But for sure, A for effort on that slide right
Absolutely, yeah. Gaston 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to right field his first time up. First pitch. Slider in there, called strike 1. Right side of the infield, shaded to pull against the lefty Gaston. Shaddix a little bit more towards first base. Wiley hugs the line. Off of it by about 3 or 4 feet. One pitch on the way. Slider. Looking for the same spot that caught strike 1, but just misses away. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. That one out, 3-1. Aiden Quintilla taking his time, getting back onto the rubber. He's working out of the windup, trying not to allow another 2-out walk. That'd be back-to-back innings. 3-1, cut on and miss. I think Gaston might have just swung at ball 4. It's a full count now.
Really tried to swing out of his shoes on that one, though.
And kind of comes up shaking that left hand, a little uncomfortable with that follow-through. Hope everything's all right there. Here's the payoff pitch from Aiden Quintilla, and that one's a non-competitive pitch outside for ball 4. And another 2-out base runner for Fort Scott. Samuel Padilla, the right fielder, bats now. He flew out to center his first time up.
Next up for Fort Scott, their right fielder number 15, Samuel Padilla.
Yard Dogs playing in their 39th game here this season. Pick over to first as Gaston's back in safely. 37th game for Fort Scott. Yard Dogs at home are 14-8. Lost 2 in a row. That one missed to Gaston. And with their win last night, Fort Scott improves to 7-9 in road games this season. Another pick over as Julian's back in with head first slide. 7-3 in their last 10 games are the Yard Dogs. 2-8 in their last 10 is Fort Scott. There goes the runner. Throw from Valerius in time, but it might be a little high as it pulled Shaddix, who came to cover, up and away from the base runner. So Julian Gaston swipes second. First stolen base of the night. And there's a runner in scoring position with 2 outs and a 2-0 count to Samuel Padilla. That's a fastball grooved in there for strike 1. That one fought off. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Aiden Quintilla trying to work out of this inning. Strand another base runner with 2 outs. Be back-to-back innings.
About to be his 50th pitch here.
Two on the way. That one just inside. Another full count. That wind you hear whipping in, coming in from right field. was blown in from dead center last night. But this breeze, don't think will affect play as much as the wind last night did. 3-2 skied into center. Riley has it lined up and no problem for him out in the 8th spot. So Aiden Catilla strands another 2-out base runner. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. This is Bryan Yard Dog baseball. Dogs look to break through. Both teams searching for their first hit. As Isaac Borges, Rylan Sawyers, Gavin Shattuck's due up. That's 8-9-1. Borges out of Southwest Community College plays right field tonight. Usually a pitcher for the Yard Dogs, but getting a chance to hit here tonight, and he will take ball 1 outside from Jared Willett.
A lot of times we also see him out in center field.
1-0. He'll take a slider at his feet. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Willett's 2-0. Fouled off. Isaac, 108 average. As he pops a 2-1 to the right side of the field. It's Mauser and Padilla and Hernandez, the first baseman, making the catch in foul territory for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Now Rylan Sawyers out of Central Baptist, the 3rd baseman tonight for the Yard Dogs.
From Central Baptist,
That's from the right side, getting the start here tonight. Sawyers came in as a pinch runner last night. That was back in the 8th inning. First pitch to the Yard Dogs' 3rd baseman, taken low for ball 1. Sawyer's mostly used in that pinch runner role, only hitting 143 on the summer. He takes ball 2 up and in. Here's his 8th at bat of the 2026 season. Next offering's a breaking ball that causes Sawyers to bail out of the box. And it's a 3-0 count.
I would say potentially bunt with his speed and athleticism, but you're already in that hitter's friendly count at 3-0.
Well, he's going to take here no matter what. As Willett has missed with 3 straight, auto take on, and he finds the inside corner for strike 1. Willett spent 4 years at Thomas College. Career ERA of 5.87 and 138 innings pitched. 3-1's taken low, and it's a 1-out walk here in the bottom of the third. Third walk issued by Willett. And now the top of the order, Gavin Shaddix, the second baseman, bats now. He's 0 for 1 tonight with a foul out.
Up next, SFA Lumberjack number 17, Gavin Shaddix.
Double play depth for the Fort Scott middle infielders now. Sawyers, like you mentioned, Will, can run. It'll be tough turn 2 against these two guys if they get a chance. It's a 1-0 count to Shaddix. SFA Lumberjack didn't get into any games this past season. Willett set out of the stretch, the 1-0. There goes Sawyers. Throw down for Polnitz, a second, is high and pulls away Padilla. So an easy swipe bag for Ryland Sawyers. First stolen base of the night for the Yard Dogs. That's the Yard Dogs' 46th stolen base of the season. It's 3-0 now, as all of a sudden Willett struggling to find the zone.
And if Gavin gets on base here, I bet you could see a double steal maybe.
Long look back to second. The 3-0 comes home, and that one misses in. Non-competitive pitch, back-to-back walks. And the Yard Dogs have 2 men on, 1 out in the bottom of the third inning. Tegan Riley out of Ohlone College coming to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Now Polnitz second will head out to the mound to have a word with Jared Willett, and he'll call the entire infield in.
Up next, Ohlone College center fielder number 23, Tegan Riley.
Those 46 stolen bases ranks 5th in the MAL. Nacogdoches, the leader. Piney Woods, the second most stolen bases. Meridian in third. Fort Scott with the 4th most. Beaumont with 36. They are in last in the league. League standings, Nacogdoches 30-9. They have a 7.5 game lead on Fort Scott, who's in second for that top seed. The Dragoons are 21-15 in second place. Meridian 20-16, they're third. Bryan holding on to that final playoff spot. They are 19-19. Piney Woods on the outside looking in, 12-19, and Beaumont a distant 6. They are 6-30. So here's Tegan Riley. 2 men on, 1 out in the bottom of the third in this scoreless ball game. First pitch comes home, and he takes for strike 1.
So we may not see a lot of changes between that top 4
Well,
in the standings.
Piney Woods kind of creeping into the picture as the Yard Dogs have lost 3 straight, but still plenty of season left to go. 0-1. That one misses down and away. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Yard Dogs do have another series against Beaumont. That's on the road. So you look at that in terms of strength of schedule as winnable games. Don't want to guarantee anything, but chance, real good chance at a 3 wins. It's a 2-1 count here to Tegan Riley with 2 men on, 1 out.
want to say a couple of series are left with Fort Scott.
2-1, put in play to the right side. Mauser will flip to second for one. Going to be tough to turn two. The relay is in time, and it's a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. Here comes Coach Byington out to have a word with the field umpire, and he's going to ask for a conversation. As the field umpire will head all the way over to the first base side. Coach Byington will have to walk all the way over to meet him. As we'll step aside, we'll see if they get a conversation on the other side, but a 4-6-3 double play ends the inning. We're scoreless through 3, going to the 4th. This is Bryan Yard Dog Baseball. Bryan Yard Dogs and Fort Scott Dragoons here on a Wednesday night, game 2 of this 3-game set. We'll be back here tomorrow, 7:05, to finish off the 12-game homestand. As the first pitch to Ulysses Hernandez is outside for ball 1 from Aiden Quintilla. One out. That one misses low, 2 balls and no strikes. (2-0) fouled away for strike 1.
That's a First Financial Bank foul ball.
(2-1) check swing. He definitely went around. And now the count run to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yard Dogs started off this homestand 7-0, but dropped the next 3, currently standing at 7-3 on the 12-game set. Would love to finish at 9-3. Gonna have to win tonight, win tomorrow. Payoff pitch here. That one's outside, ball 4. So Ulysses Hernandez, a leadoff man for Fort Scott here in the top of the 4th inning. Third walk issued by Aiden Quintilla.
Next up, the Fort Scott Dragoons here, catcher number 24, Cedric Polnitz.
Cedric Polnitz, the catcher, digs in for his second at bat of the night. He's 0 for 1, grounded out to second, his first time up. First pitch fouled into the mitt of Valerius for strike 1. 0-1 on the way. Polnitz, the second, shows bunt. He goes around, couldn't pull it back in time. And it's quickly 0-2 on the Fort Scott backstop. Ulysses Hernandez runs over at first after his leadoff walk here in the top of the 4th inning. Nobody out for Fort Scott as the 0-2 offering misses up and in to Polnitz, the second. Here's a 1-2. Slider down and away. Good job by Polnitz, the second there, not to chase. Cantilla's 2-2. Line down the left field line, foul. Started fair, but Polnitz, the second, just a little quick pulling the trigger there. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Quintilla just over 60 pitches right now.
Here comes another one. 2-2 on the outside corner. That might have been strike 3. Doesn't get the call. Counts run full. Other games around the MAL. Meridian hosting Beaumont. It's a 5-3 game in the top of the 2nd. Beaumont leading there. Payoff pitch. Outside corner called strike 3. Back pick to Hernandez. And he's back in safe. Polnitz, the second, sat down. Second strikeout of the game for Quintilla. There's one down in the top of the 4th inning.
Number 28, Jackson Burnett.
Now Jackson Burnett will dig in. He's 0 for 1. He was the first strikeout victim. First pitch misses in low to Burnett. Yard Dogs grounded into their 13th double play to end the bottom of the 3rd. Fort Scott's only hit into 5 all year. Bryan would love to make that 6 in this spot. It's a 2-0 though, 2-0 count to Jackson Burnett, the 3rd baseman for the Dragoons. Breaking ball sent into left field. Barros started back, then comes on. Calls off a retreating Pachorik. And there's 2 down for Fort Scott here in the top of the 4th inning. Runner still over at first for Zion Lewis.
Left fielder number 12, Zion Lewis.
Lewis, the left fielder, walked his first time up. Other game, I should say, going on tonight in the MAL. Nacogdoches hosting the Timber Hogs. And it's 4-0 in the bottom of the 3rd, all Nacogdoches so far. First pitch, fastball, misses out. One 0 offering here to Lewis. Fastball, same spot, and it's 2-0. (2-0 to 3-0) as that one almost hit Lewis. And now Quintilla trying to avoid another 2-out walk. He has 2 of them today already. Brio, here comes. That one's way outside, ball 4. So 2 men on, 2 outs for Thomas Padilla, the shortstop. Both these teams
All right, folks,
still looking for their
14,
first hit.
Thomas Padilla, he's also our key man hitter of the night. That means if Thomas strikes out here, that's $2 beers in the next half
7
inning.
total walks between these teams, so there have been base runners.
Thank you, the tall dog.
As here comes Jason Goodell, the pitching coach for Fort Scott, out to have a word with Aiden Quintilla. Sitting at 70 pitches and a little bit of action in the pen now starting to stir for the Yard Dogs. Just a conversation between Aiden Goodell and Valerius, the catcher.
Like you said, there's been some traffic on the base pass. Just neither team able to get that one hit to kind of move them around quite yet.
Umpire starting to head out to break up the meeting, but instead it disperses naturally. Valerius will take his spot behind the plate. Thomas Padilla 0 for 1 tonight, grounding out to the pitcher his first time up. Gets to hit in the biggest spot here for either team. Righty-righty matchup. Tilla out of the stretch. First base side of the rubber. He comes set at the belt. The first pitch home. Fastball fouled off for strike one. Quintilla ready with another offering. 0-1 comes home. Fouled off by Padilla, and now two straight fastballs have Aiden ahead 0-2 here. Aiden ready, the 0-2 offering. Slider, pop fly, shallow right field. It's Shaddix, the second baseman, calling off Wiley and making the catch. Fort Scott gets two men on, but Aiden Quintilla strands him. We're still scoreless going to the bottom of the fourth out at Travis Field. This is Bryan Yard Dog Baseball. Leads things off, the first baseman out of St. Edwards. No score between Fort Scott and Bryan. Well-pitched ball game. Just a few free passes. The only blemishes for Jared Willett and Aiden Quintilla. Jake Wiley 0 for 1 tonight, getting his second look at Willett here. And Jared will fire home ball 1 up and away.
Overall, I'd say it's a pretty clean game. I mean, yeah, there's no hits, but there's also no errors yet.
1-0, missing upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. No runs, no hits, no errors for Dragoons. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Yard Dogs. Fort Scott has stranded 4 men on base. Bryan have only stranded 1. This one rolled over, foul. 2-1 now here to the Yard Dogs' first baseman. Right side of the infield shaded to pull against the lefty. 2-1. Breaking ball. Misses off the plate away. It's 3-1 now. Pop foul. Coming on hard is Lewis, but he's not going to be able to get there. That one's in to the bullpen down the third base line. So it'd be a full count for Jake Wiley. New baseball for Jared Willett, who was the acting field manager for the Dragoons last night. A little bit of staff turnover. And tonight gets a chance to throw. Got 46 pitches right now here in the bottom of the 4th inning and with nobody out. Payoff pitch to Jake Wiley. Taken down and away for ball 4. So another walk issued by Willett. And the leadoff man is on for the first time tonight for the Yard Dogs. 5 walks by Jared Willett. 4 walks issued by Aiden Quintilla up to this point. Justice Brinson is 0 for 1 tonight. He chopped out to the pitcher last time up. First pitch of this righty-righty matchup coming home. That one misses outside for ball 1. Brinson will show bunt and foul it off. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's the first financial bait.
It almost worked for him there in the 2nd inning when he led off the 2nd. Got it down, just wasn't able to get to first safely.
Jake Wiley over at first. Only 2 stolen bags for him this summer. Takes about a 3-step lead. A little aggressive. Seeing Coach Byington let his runners get active. We'll see if they do it here. The 1-1. Chased by Brinson. He's behind now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two to the DH. That one's way outside, and it's going to get away from Polnitz the second, and into second base goes Jake Wiley. Wild pitch there from Jared Willett, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out. Be a great time for the first hit of the game for the Yard Dogs.
Especially if you sent it right there through the 4-hole.
Mauser, the second baseman, holding on Wiley, but most likely will retreat once his pitch comes home. There he goes. The 2-2 gets away once again from Polnitz the second, and Another free 90 feet for Jake Wiley. He now stands at third with nobody out. It'll be a 3-2 count to Justice Brinson. Just putting the ball in play practically scores Wiley. One thing you got to give the Yard Dogs credit for, they can score runs without hits.
Exactly.
They've done it all year long.
They are known for taking advantage of any mistakes.
3-2 on the inside corner, called strike 3. Brinson knew it, and he is out number 1. First strikeout of the night for Jared Willett, his 43rd K of the year. And Tanner Pachorik bats now. Righty-righty matchup. Pachorik walked his last time up. He's going to line this one into left field, and it will be in for a base hit. Tanner Pachorik comes through in the bottom of the 4th to give the Yard Dogs a 1-0 lead.
Good piece of hitting like we were asking for right there.
Finally gets that one in the hit column for the Yard Dogs. And most importantly, a one in the run column. That matters more than the hit column, especially the way this game feels like it's going. But, of course, still in the early stages, about to get into the middle innings. As the first pitch comes home at 200 Barros, he'll take low and away for ball 1. One out, fouled away. Evens count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Barros walked his last time up.
Foul bubbles.
Foul ball.
One. This one grounded to the left side. A great stab by Burnett. He's going to go to second for 1. Around the horn in time. What a double play. 5-4-3 to end the inning. Second double play turn by the best defense in the MAL. And it's 1-0 going to the top of the 5th. Bryan leads Fort Scott. This is Bryan Yard Dog Baseball. up 2 strikeouts. Dene, the lefty, worked from the third base side of the rubber and fires home the first pitch to Trevor Newby, who swings and misses this lefty-lefty matchup leading off the top of the 5th.
And like with Quintilla, we've seen Dene come out of the pen or also have a few starts under his belt.
Yeah. Last pitched on the 4th of July. Fortunately, got the loss as the 0-1 is through the right side of the infield for a base hit. So Trevor Newby, leadoff man for Fort Scott, their first hit of the game.
Number 18, Bodie Mauser.
And now Bodie Mauser will dig into the box. Mauser 0 for 1 tonight. It'll be a lefty-righty matchup. First pitch of this battle comes home. Mauser shows bunt, and it's foul. Reminder, Game 3 of this series tomorrow night at 7:05 right here at Travis Field, or if you can't make it out, you can catch it right here on the Bryan Yard Dog YouTube channel, but BryanYardDogs.com for your tickets. One of the last chances you'll get to see the Yard Dogs here at home in the regular season. Believe after that there's 6 games remaining. 0-1 runs inside and hits Bodie Mauser. And there's 2 men on, nobody out for Julian Gaston, the leadoff man. So you get the lead and all of a sudden threatening to lose it.
Yeah, talking about that schedule, we'll have the game tomorrow night, and then your Yard Dogs will be gone until the 24th of July.
It's about they've been home for 2 weeks. They'll go on the road for about 2 weeks. As Gaston stands in, he's 0 for 1 with a walk and a stolen base tonight. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way. He'll show bunt, fouls it off his foot in the box for strike 1. Dene already in a bit of trouble. His first inning of work. This low-scoring affair up to this point. Gaston shows bunt once again. He misses, and it's 0-2. So now he'll be swinging. Dene set with the glove at the belt. 0-2 on the way. Slider down. Good take there by Julian Gaston. Here comes the 1-2 home. That one's going to get away from Valerius. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the runners will move up 90 feet. So now 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out in the top of the 5th. Yard Dogs in a spot they might lose that 1-0 lead that they just earned.
Kind of like last night, you saw one team would score and the other would answer right back just about until those later innings.
It was a seesaw affair in the early going. But Fort Scott able to tack a few runs together where they plated multiple runs in the inning. 2-2 fouled off. Julian Gaston stays alive. Out of the stretch is Dene. He's set. The 2-2. Way outside. Counts run full.
About to be the 7th pitch of the AB here.
Top of the 5th, 2 men on for Fort Scott, nobody out. Payoff pitch coming to Julian Gaston. In there, called, 3rd strike, he knew it. That pitch at the front hip froze Gaston. That's out number 1 here in the top of the 5th. First strikeout for Dene. Now in comes Samuel Padilla, the right fielder. He's 0 for 2 today with 2 flyouts.
Their right fielder number 15, Samuel Padilla.
Dene set at the belt for the first pitch home to Padilla. That one's lifted foul up and out of play. This inning started with a Trevor Newby single, followed up by a Bodie Mauser hit by pitch, and a pass ball allows those 2 runners to move up into scoring position. Dene bounces back with the strikeout of Gaston, and now ahead 0-1 to Padilla. It's 1-1 now. Inside to Padilla. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Two one. Here it comes. That one put in play to the right side. It's a fair ball, and this will give Fort Scott the lead. In comes Newby, right behind him Mauser. And it's an RBI double for Sam Padilla. 2-1. Fort Scott jumps in front here in the top of the 5th. And now Ulysses Hernandez digs in with runner still in scoring position and only 1 out in the inning.
Number 13, Ulysses Hernandez.
This looked like a slider that Padilla was able to stay on and send it the opposite way.
Just right past the first base, too.
Snuck it inside that right field line. And the first pitch misses to Ulysses Hernandez. So 2-1 our new score as Valerius will head out to the mound and have a word with Matthew Dene. Valerius finishes the conversation and heads back to behind the plate. Hernandez 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out in the first, walked in the 4th. Matthew Dene ready for the 1-0 after the meeting with Valerius. See if it's a good one or not. Chopped foul. Usually equate a strike to a good meeting or another ball to a not so good meeting. So a 1-1 count here to the Fort Scott first baseman. One. Popped down the left field line in foul territory. Sawyer started to track it, but it's going to land behind the party deck beyond the wall. One, two. on the way to Ulysses Hernandez. He'll roll this one over to the right side. Shattuck's backhand throw in time to get Hernandez over at first base. That moves Samuel Padilla up to third, and there are 2 down for Cedric Polnitz II. Polnitz 0 for 2 tonight with a ground out and a strikeout.
At bat, the Fort Scott catcher, number 24, Cedric Polnitz.
This will be Polnitz's first look at Dene. First pitch in there, called strike 1 on the inner half. Samuel Padilla, the runner at third base after his 2 RBI double, drove home Trevor Newby and Bodie Mauser to make it a 2-1 game here in the top of the 5th. Matthew Dene ahead 0-2 here, pitch away from getting out of this inning. Oh, 2 misses out. Takes the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Polnitz takes, evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Over 20 pitches to work through this inning so far for Matthew Dene. The ball gets away from the Yard Dog bullpen, so we'll have a quick stoppage here. Now we're ready for play with a 2-2 count, 2 outs, top of the 5th, 2-1 Fort Scott lead. Dene to Polnitz II. Takes, counts run full. So Dene works ahead 0-2 and then fires home 3 straight balls to run it full. Payoff. Chopped foul up the third base line. Another payoff pitch here on the way to Cedric Polnitz II from Matthew Dene in the top of the 5th. Here it is. This one in play to the third baseman. Sawyer steps into the throw, and a good dig out by Wiley over at first. That'll do it, but not before Fort Scott tacks on 2 runs on 2 hits. They'll strand a man over at third base, now leading 2-1 as we're halfway home here on a Wednesday night out at Travis Field. Come on back. This is Bryan Yard Dog Baseball. Halfway home out at Travis Field, it's 2-1.
The Bryan Yard Dogs.
As Taylor Valerius will lead things off.
Valerius.
Fort Scott leading Bryan. Yard Dogs in the bottom of the fourth take a 1-0 lead on a hit, but Fort Scott answers right back with 2 runs via a Samuel Padilla 2 RBI double. And the first pitch to Valerius from Jared Willett is in there, called strike 1. Valerius tonight 0 for 1. He flew out to right his first time up. He'll swing and miss at the next offering, and it's quickly 0-2. Valerius had a Clarendon College. First pitch, or the 0-2 coming home, off the end of the bat. Willett will track it down and just flip to first, where Hernandez covers for out number 1. So 1-3 put out in the scorebook will bring Isaac Borges to the plate. The right fielder is 0 for 1 tonight after fouling out to third base.
Right fielder number 20, Isaac Borges.
Borges into the box. First pitch. Misses inside for ball 1.
Love to see the bats battle back here and put a crooked number up on the scoreboard.
1-0's fouled off. Takes the count to 1 ball, 1 strike. Be a lot like the third last night, where they strung together a couple hits. Pardon me, that's the third inning, where they strung together a couple hits and brought home some runs. 1-1's fouled back, and it's 1-2 now. Borges behind to Jared Willett. Going back to the series with Nacogdoches, innings with more than 2 hits, extremely rare for Bryan. Again, they're able to work counts. They do get on base quite a bit, but always seem to be searching for that one big swing at some point in the game. As a 1-2 is a fastball up and into Borges. He's down swinging for out number 2. Second strikeout for Willett. Nobody on for Ryland Salyers out of Central Baptist.
Third baseman Ryland Salyers.
Salyers walked and stole a base. Jared Willett looking in. Out of the windup. The first pitch comes home. Fouled into the mitt of Polnitz, the second, for strike 1. Oh, 1's bunted foul over towards the Yard Dog dugout. And it's quickly 0-2. Salyers recently received an offer from Union Commonwealth University, looking for his next landing spot. Oh, 2 fouled into the mitt of Polnitz, the second, and back-to-back strikeouts ends the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Jared Willett. As we go to the 6th, 2-1 our score. Fort Scott leading the Yard Dogs. This is Bryan at Yard Dog Baseball. Matthew Dene gives way to Borges after going just one inning of work, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned a walk and a strikeout. Working on getting you that name in right field. We'll get you that as soon as we can, as Borges quickly ahead of Jackson Burnett, 0-2. Borges, one of the better pitchers in this Yard Dog pen. This one sent on the ground to the left side. Hard charging is Pachorek. Throw on the run. Can't be held onto at first by Wiley. And it will be an E3 as Jake Wiley allows Burnett to reach to lead off the top of the 6th. First error committed of the evening by the Yard Dogs. And now Zion Lewis, the left fielder, will stand in. This one swung on, pop foul, Wiley, little room, but it gets out of play.
That's another First Financial Bank. Translated to foul ball.
Oh, 1 offering here. Good breaking ball that misses in. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Borges making his 7th appearance here. He's 3-0, 2.13 ERA, 12 2/3 innings pitched for him. He's got 18 strikeouts to 10 walks. The 0-1 from Borges in there, called strike 2 to Lewis. Borges out of the stretch. Comes set with the glove at the letters, the 0-2 delivery. Misses inside. Lewis taking a little stroll as that one almost nicked him. He's walked twice today. Two-two. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Isaac Borges picks up out number 1 here in the top of the 6th via the punch out.
Hitter of the night, number 14.
Now Thomas Padilla stands in, 0 for 2.
Here, that means $2 beers in the next half inning.
4 Ks on the evening for Yard Dogs pitching. Burnett running over at first. About a half-step lead, but it's not going to matter. This one gets to the backstop, and Valerius will track it down as Burnett advances up to scoring position with only 1 out here in the top of the 6th. The righty Padilla back in the box. He's the K-man of the game, so if he strikes out, it's discounted adult beverages for everyone in attendance. Not everyone, everyone that can drink, right? This one back up the middle, almost gets the umpire. Pachorek charges, and the throw over to first in time to get Padilla for out number 2. Burnett, excuse me. I keep thinking Barrett Jackson, the guy that auctions cars. That's what I keep thinking, but it's Jackson Burnett advancing up to third base with 2 outs. And Trevor Newby, the DH out of Newman University, takes strike 1 on the outside corner. This is his first look at Isaac Borges. Isaac is a get the ball and go type of pitcher. He doesn't like to wait around up on the hill.
Usually he's waiting for the hitter to get ready.
0-1 misses. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Borges set. 0-1. Fastball up and away. 2-1 now. Top of the 6th, 2 down. Runner at third base. That's Jackson Burnett after reaching on an error. It's a 3-1 count now to Trevor Newby as Borges spiked that fastball. Three-one on the way. That one low, ball 4. So a 2-out walk. Now there'll be runners at the corners for Bodie Mauser, who was hit by pitch his last time up. Later came around to score.
Number 18, Bodie Mauser.
It was a Samuel Padilla double that drove in two to give Fort Scott the lead in the last offensive inning for Fort Scott. 0-0 pitch, misses low. It's 1-0. Offering, that one misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Next pitch, here it comes. Ooh, 2-0. Foul, it hits the bat. That's tough luck there for Brody Mauser, as that one was coming at the helmet. Mauser ducks out of the way, and he doesn't bring the bat with him, so it's off the bat, foul ball, and it's a gift for Isaac Borges. He calls out Taylor Valerius here to have a quick word. With runners at the corners, 2 outs, top of the 6th inning. Fort Scott looking to add to their lead. Borges, one of the better relievers for the Yard Dogs, trying to post a 0. Borges set with the 2-1. Here it comes. Fastball down the groove is fouled off, and Bodie Mauser has an even count. Deuces Wild on the scoreboard.
I want to say we saw Isaac come in on that July 3rd game against Nacogdoches out of the pen to get the win there.
This was on the 5th he pitched an inning, and he came in as well as the walk-off winner over Nacogdoches. He gave 2 1/3 quality innings. This one lined into left center field, and it will fall in front of Riley. It'll be an RBI single for Bodie Mauser to make it 3-1 in the top of the 6th. Jackson Burnett comes in to score. Trevor Newby will now be the runner at second. Time will be called, and the umpires will have a quick discussion. Maybe a little jawing there in between Mauser and Borges as the umpires get in between them.
At bat number 21, Julian Gaston.
I didn't watch as Mauser was moving up to first. But now back to the top of the order, Julian Gaston, who's 0 for 2 tonight. First pitch swinging, put in play, foul territory. Sawyer's going to be a tough play, running out of room, and that one falls for a long strike 1. Oh, 1 here to Gaston. In there, called strike 2. Looking back at the replay, really don't see any obvious chirping. But obviously the umpire right there in the middle of it might have heard something we couldn't. This one singled back up the middle, and the bases will be loaded for Fort Scott. Back-to-back singles by Mauser and Gaston has them loaded up with 2 outs here in the 6th. 3-1 our score. Borges, trying to fight through it. Here's Samuel Padilla. First pitch to him, misses up and away for ball 1. Borges battles back, evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike with that fastball in the outer half. Padilla last time up gave Fort Scott the lead with a 2 RBI double. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Can do some more damage. The base is loaded. Has a 2-1 count here as that fastball runs upstairs. Two-one. Fouled off. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two-two on the way. Padilla takes. It was a slider in. And the count is run full. Nowhere to put him. Runners will be off and moving with 2 outs. Here's the 3-2 on the way. Challenge fastball. Diving attempt by Sawyers, and it ricochets into center field. That'll score 2 runs. And that's a hit for Samuel Padilla. He has 2 tonight and 4 RBIs. And it's 5-1 Fort Scott in the top of the 6th.
Number 13, Ulysses Hernandez.
Trevor Newby scores. Bodie Mauser scores. Julian Gaston now running over at third base for Ulysses Hernandez. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. First pitch in there, called strike 1. So this inning, back-to-back innings, kind of getting away from the Yard Dogs here. 0-1. Chop to the left side of the infield. It's Sawyers with the throw across the diamond, and a great pick by Jake Wiley to end the inning, but not before. 3 runs come home on 3 hits. They'll strand 2 men on going to the bottom of the 6th inning. 5-1 Fort Scott. This is Bryan Yard Dog Baseball. The 6th, Yard Dogs looking to respond after Fort Scott has tacked on 5 runs in 2 innings. They lead 5-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Gavin Shaddix, Tegan Riley, Jake Wiley do up. That's 1, 2, 3 in the Yard Dog order. Shaddix 0 for 1 tonight. Still facing Jared Willett, and the first pitch misses in for ball 1. Shaddix a foul out in the first, a walk in the third inning. 69 pitches for Jared Willett here in the bottom of the 6th inning, so he's looking good on pitch count. 1-0 is a fastball that runs up and in. It's 2-0. Make it 3 balls and no strikes from Jared Willett to Gavin Shaddix, the SFA Lumberjack. .30 auto take in there, called strike 1. .31 offering here to Shaddix. That one's outside, ball 4, and the Yard Dogs have the leadoff man aboard. Sixth walk issued by Jared Willett as Tegan Riley out of Ohlone College digs in. 0 for 2 tonight. Full out to center and grounded into a 4-6-3 double play.
Tegan Riley.
Jared Willett out of the stretch will come set at the belt, and the first pitch of this battle comes home. Popped sky high left side of the infield. Burnett Padilla over there. It's Burnett, the third baseman, making the call and can't make the catch. They might get an out at second. No, high throw and in safely is Shaddix. Everybody is safe on the E5 as Jackson Burnett cannot make the catch. First error committed by the Dragoons tonight. There are 2 men on. Nobody out for Jake Wiley, first baseman turned left fielder.
Like we've said, look for your Yard Dogs here to take advantage of some of these mistakes.
They've done a good job of that all season long as Wiley digs in. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Line out to center, a walk and a run scored back in the 4th. That error, Fort Scott's 30th of the season. First pitch to Wiley is in there, called strike 1. Fort Scott, the best defense in the league, had a rough night last night, committed 3 errors. Have another one here tonight.
Hit him with the old announcer jinx last night as
Yeah,
soon as we
I
talked
did.
about it.
Sure did. Next pitch misses. Takes the count to 1 ball, 1 strike. Long pause for Willett. The 1-1 will come home to Jake Wiley, and he takes for strike 2. Top of the 3rd out in Meridian. Beaumont leading 6-3. Nacogdoches up 7-0 over the Piney Woods in the top of the 7th. Just ahead of us here in Bryan, Texas. It was a quick first 4 innings. Bryan led at that point 1-0, but a 2-run 5th and a 3-run 6th for Fort Scott launched them ahead 5-1. That's where we stand, but the Yard Dogs trying to rally here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 men on, nobody out. And a foul ball on a 1-2 count from Jake Wiley to keep alive. And Polnitz's second might have worn that one off of the bat. He's had a rough couple nights. Got a bat off the forearm last night on the left side. This looks like the right arm he's dealing with a little bit of pain. Head coach Paul Rieger out to have a word with Polnitz and the home plate umpire, but Polnitz good to go. It'll be a 1-2 count here to Jake Wiley. Jared Willett back onto the rubber, works from the first base side. Long pause, and the 1-2 finally comes home. That one way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. Lifted into left field. Lewis on the run toward the line. Makes a catch for out number 1. Runners will have to stay put. So fly out to left field for Jake Wiley. And now looks like we'll have a pinch hitter here for Justice Brinson.
Looks like Andrew Thornhill.
So Thornhill will hit. And a meeting on the mound here between the entire infield. Pitching coach tonight is Drake LaRoche for Fort Scott. Home plate umpire goes out to break it up, and now everyone will retreat back to their spots. 1 out, 2 men on for the Yard Dogs as they trail by 4 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And now Andrew Thornhill will stand in and swing in place of Justice Brinson. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch in there, called strike 1 to Thornhill. Thornhill from Mansfield, Texas. 6'1", 185-pounder. That one bounces in there and gets away from Polnitz the second. Everyone will move up. So there'll be 2 runners in scoring position for the Yard Dogs in a 1-1 count, or 1-0. Yeah, 1-1 count here to Thornhill. Tanner Pachorik standing on deck. Yard Dog trying to rally here as Willett really slowing the tempo of the game down once a few men got on base. This one in on the hands, fouled back.
Nick,
that's 1-2.
That one was close.
It wasn't. It actually wasn't close at all.
At bat for the Yard Dogs, number 24, Andrew Thornhill.
I know you want one.
I'd catch it.
And I hope you do get one, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
We're running out of time, so they need to hurry up and send one our way.
1-2 lifted to left field. In foul territory, burn it towards the wall about 5 feet onto the party deck, out of play.
Foul ball.
So 1 ball, 2 strike count. The Thomas College product, Jared Willett, trying to work out of this inning. Put 2 men on with nobody out, has already gotten 1 out, looking for out number 2 here as this one's lifted deep into left center field. Lewis and Gaston converge. Gaston, the center fielder, will make the catch, and it's plenty deep for Gavin Shaddix to tag and score to make it a 5-2 game here. Runner still standing out at second base with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. So Thornhill drives home a run, brings up Tanner Pechoric out of Lubbock Christian University.
At bat for the Bryan Yard Dogs, shortstop, number 9, Tanner Pechoric.
Pechoric tonight, a walk and a RBI single. First pitch, slider outside corner called strike one. Oh, one sent to center field, and it will fall in front of Gaston. Getting the wave is Tegan Riley. Throw up the third baseline, and it's a 5-3 ball game. Tanner Pechoric with another RBI single to cut the lead to 2. Yard Dogs rallying here against Jared Willett. Finally starting to break through against him. As someone lightly tossing now in the Dragoon bullpen.
Next up, left fielder number 3, Hunter Barrows.
Hunter Barrows stands in, the left fielder, turned right fielder. 0 for 1, he walked in the second, grounded into a double play his next time up. He's the tying run at the plate. He's gonna line this one back up the middle. That's another base hit. Getting the wave is Pechoric. Here's the relay. It's gonna bounce off the mound. Tough break for the Dragoons, and it's 5-4. Hunter Barrows comes through. He moves up to second on the throw in. And it's 5-4. Fort Scott still leading. 3 runs home in this inning. And Taylor Valerius, the catcher, bats with a chance to tie it.
At bat from Clarendon College, number 4, Taylor Valerius.
Well, we know Valerius can give the Yard Dogs a lead with one swing. Here's the first pitch to it, misses up and away for ball 1.
This is one of those innings that we've been wanting the Yard Dogs to have. You
Absolutely.
string some hits together, score some runs finally. 2
hits and a sacrifice fly, and it's a 3-run frame. Time called as the ball gets away from the Fort Scott pin. We'll reset here. It's an 0-1 or 1-0 count, pardon me, to Valerius. This one laced up the third baseline, but foul. Valerius trying to tie this one up. Unable to keep that one fair. It's a 1-1 count. Hunter Barrows out at second after his game time, or his RBI single, pardon me, brought home the 4th run for the Yard Dogs. That one outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 count here to Valerius. Coming home. Swung on and missed. Is going to get away from Barrows. And it's going to be a 2-2 count here with 2 outs. Tying run at third base. Jared Willett trying to preserve the lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Willett peering in out of the windup. The runner over at third base now. The 2-2 to Valerius. Taken. Good take from Taylor Valerius to run the count full. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Valerius will strand the tying run out at third, but the Yard Dogs are able to drive home 3 runs on 2 hits. It's a 1-run game as we go to the 7th. Fort Scott leading 5-4 out at Travis Field. Come on back. We got a good one here tonight. This is Bryan Yard Dog Baseball. To make it a 1-run game, 5-4, top 7, as it is Cedric Polnitz the second, Jackson Burnett, and Zion Lewis. That's 4, 5, 6 due up for Fort Scott here in the top of the 7th. Still facing Isaac Borges, who gave up 3 runs in his first inning, looking for a clean sheet this time, as the first pitch misses up and away for ball 1. That one bounces in there. It's 2-0. It's 5 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for Fort Scott, 4 runs on 3 hits, 1 error for Bryan up to this point. And 3-0 now. Seems like the Yard Dog pitchers tonight not having a lot of success in the strike zone.
Struggling with the zone tonight.
It's a 4-pitch walk to lead off the top of the 7th as Cedric Polnitz the second reaches for the first time tonight.
Which kind of, both teams have struggled a little bit to find the zone. We've seen a lot of walks from the Dragoons as well.
It's a 6th walk issued by the Yard Dogs tonight. As Jackson Burnett stands in out of Hartnell College. 0 for 3 tonight. Did reach on an error his last time up, later scored. First pitch to him. Misses. 5 straight balls to start off this inning. One 0 on the way. That one's low. May get 7 straight balls out of the zone. Time is called here as the middle infielders Shaddix and Pechorik will come and have a pep talk here with Borges, and Valerius will join in, the catcher out there. 5-4 score in the top of the 7th. Leadoff man Polnitz the second reached on the leadoff walk. And middle infielders and Valerius trying to refocus Isaac Borges here. Too many times in this series, Will, we've seen the Yard Dogs put up runs and immediately be answered by Fort Scott.
Yeah. And usually it's been more than one run that they've answered back
Yeah,
with.
good point. They've kind of come in bunches for the Dragoons in this series. 3-0 on the way to Burnett. That one lands in there. Inner half, called strike one.
After a good pep talk, you know, you like to see a pump a strike
They're
in there.
They're 2-0 for mound meetings when it comes to getting a strike on the other side of it. 3-1. Swung on and miss. Borges. 2 good fastballs, 2 strikes, and the counts run full here to Jackson Burnett, the Dragoons' third baseman. Payoff. Chopped foul up the third baseline. And a great barehanded snag by Paul Rieger in the third base coach's box. Burgess out of the stretch, couple shakes. Finally likes what he sees from Valerius. He's set. 3-2. In the ground and in the hole, left side of the infield. That's a base hit. Jackson Burnett. A single puts 2 men on, nobody out for Zion Lewis. 6th hit of the game for the Dragoons.
Next up, left fielder number 12.
Lewis 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his last time up, walked in the previous 2 at-bats. Righty-righty matchup. Shows bunt, slider misses up and in for ball 1.
Looking for that beautiful triple play coming up here.
I like the way you think. One-oh's popped foul up over the netting. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
First Financial Bank. Foul ball.
Again, this game was moving right along up until the top of the 5th, where Quintilla was removed. And now the runs have been coming in bunches. 8 combined runs between these 2 teams since the top of the 5th inning. It's a 2-1 count here to Zion Lewis.
46th pitch on the way.
Big swing and a miss, evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Those 47 pitches now through only an inning plus 3 batters. 2-2, popped into left field. Here comes Wiley. Makes a catch for out number 1. Now Thomas Padilla, the shortstop, will dig in. He's 0 for 3 tonight. It'll be a second look at Borges.
All right, folks, this is our last key man hitter of the night. At number 14 strikes out right here. It's $2 beers in the next half inning.
Padilla swings the blue bat with the black handle. Doesn't crowd the plate too much from the right side as the first pitch misses upstairs for ball 1. Yard Dogs in the midst of a 3-game losing skid, looking to turn the tide as this one sent into right center. Moving over is Riley, putting it away for out number 2. And a good throw in to keep Polnitz the second out at second.
Folks, we do have $2 water available.
And now Trevor Newby, the DH, strolls to the plate. Newby, 1 for 2 tonight. Single,
Number 9, Trevor Newby.
a walk, and 2 runs scored. Trying to keep the streak of scoring runs alive. Double steal on, and this one swung on and fouled back. for strike one. Five to four, 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Fort Scott with 2 men on. Borges trying to post a 0. Double steal still on, throw down to third, and they will nab Polnitz the second very easily. That'll end the inning. 0 on the scoreboard as we at the 7-inning stretch. 5 to 4 our score. Fort Scott leads Bryan. This is Bryan Yard Dog Baseball. Stretching it out at Travis Field. 5 to 4 our score. Fort Scott leading Bryan as Brody Cole will pinch hit here for Isaac Borges, who will come off of the mound for a new pitcher in the top half of the eighth inning. Yard Dogs need a run to tie it up. All the offense coming in the 4th inning or later in this one. Brody Cole got the start last night. He went 0 for 4, but did reach on an error, later scored, also drew a walk. And it's a 2-0 count to him here. Now 3-0 is Jared Willett still out there working. Going to go over, yeah, most likely going to go over 100 pitches in this inning. Fort Scott does have a man up and throwing a side armor down in their bullpen. Cole takes strike one.
Looks like a number 16 out there. Nolan Mahana.
3-1 here to the lefty, Brody Cole. And back in the zone is Willett. It's 0-2.
I think he was warming up a little bit last night as well.
Yeah, I remember seeing that delivery, but Trevor Newby was too good. Here's the 3-2 to the leadoff man here in the bottom of the 7th. Popped foul, going to get out of play. Cole back into the box. Another 3-2 offering from Jared Willett. Here it comes. Fouled off, and we'll do it all again. .101 pitches for Willett. Payoff on the way. And it's ball 4. Yard Dogs get the leadoff man on once again. That's back-to-back innings. And Brody Cole runs at first. Ryland Sawyers bats for the 3rd time tonight. Walked in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th.
Let's hear it for our Yard Dog third baseman, number 1, Ryland Sawyers.
Sawyers out of Central Baptist. Willett into the stretch. Fort Scott looking for the double play ball. That one misses outside for ball 1. 102 pitches now, and 53 of those are strikes. So Willett missing out of the zone quite a bit tonight. But has the lead, as slim as it may be, 5-4 here in the bottom of the 7th. Another pickoff, and it's going to get away from the first baseman, Hernandez, and that's going to allow Cole to move from first all the way to 3rd. Here's the throw. Nice. Not in time. Brody Cole in safely. Tying run at 3rd base with nobody out. On the error over at first base, trying to pick him off. Second error of the night for Fort Scott. Something about playing here at Travis Field. Defense has not been great for the Dragoons, especially how they've played for the majority of the season. The 1-0 here. Ooh, check swing as that one was coming up and in. And Sawyers with an even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball outside. 2-1 now. Can will it over 100 pitches, so he's going to start to empty the tank here. If you haven't already, you can hear the grunts as he delivers home. 2-1, fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll see how long Paul Rieger will it go, if he'll get another batter after this, or if this is the last hitter.
Yeah, he's at 106 pitches so far.
Mohana is ready to go. 2-2 home, sent foul. So Ryland Sawyer's hanging in there with a tying run 90 feet away in the bottom of the 7th. The top of the lineup on deck, Gavin Shaddix, Tegan Riley in the hole. 2-2 swung on and missed. Ryland Sawyers retired for out number 1. And here comes Paul Rieger. And that will probably do it for Jared Willett. He'll leave with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th, the tying run at third base. And he will give way to Nolan Mohana. Pitching change out at Travis Field. We'll step aside and get you the new pitcher on the other side. You're watching Bryan Yard Dog Baseball. Face Nolan Mohana with the tying run at third base. The side armor will come home with the first pitch here to Shaddix, and it's behind him. Here comes the runner, and Cole is in safely. We're tied up at 5 runs apiece. 1 pitch, and it's a brand new ball game. 5-5, bottom 7. Just the way you draw it up, right, Will?
Of course. Just another way to manufacture runs without getting hits.
Only 3 on the night for Bryan, but they've scored 5 runs. And that one's going to run in and plunk Gavin Shaddix. So 1 behind him and 1 on that front shoulder. And we got a 1-out base runner. Shaddix, the go-ahead runner. Tegan Riley now to the plate. Riley 0 for 3 tonight, has reached on an error and later scored. Another righty-righty matchup here. First pitch almost gets Riley, and it's inside for ball one. There goes the runner. Doesn't matter. Hit by pitch. And the go-ahead run, good news, moves up
Out at second
into
base
second
now.
base for the Yard Dogs. And
Only one out.
yeah, only one out. Bad news, not the best baseball.
Number 6, Jake Wiley.
As here comes one of the pitching coaches, assistant coaches, I should say, out of the dugout to have some words with Nolan Mohana. Jake Wiley will be at the plate. Still looking for his first hit, but he walked later, scored back in the 4th inning. And Jared Willett, you can close the book on him as his runner came home to score. He goes 6 1/3 innings, allows 3 hits, 5 runs, 7 walks, 5 strikeouts. Meeting on the mound over. And now with Jake Wiley, maybe a good thing for Mohana. He's facing a lefty.
See how the mound visit pays off for the Dragoons.
So Wiley into the box. Mohana peers in out of the stretch. He works from the first base side of the rubber. Sidearmer winds and deals. There goes the runners. And no throw down from Polnitz to second. 2 runners in scoring position now. It's an 0-1 count, or 1-0, excuse me, to Jake Wiley.
That go-ahead run out at third base now with 1 out, eliminating the conventional double play.
Already an arm up and throwing in the Dragoons bullpen, so feels like the Yard Dogs need to take advantage here and now. Jake Wiley, 1-0. Ball 2. Mohana has thrown 6 pitches, 4 balls, 2 hit by pitches. This one put in play back up the middle. It will score a run unless they come home. They do. That's a bad idea. Coming in to score is Gavin Shaddix. And it's an RBI infield single for Jake Wiley. That's just take the out at first.
You wouldn't
Jake-
call that a fielder's choice?
Jake Wiley
Up next for Bryan.
grounding
number
that ball.
24, Andrew
You think Padilla
Thornhill.
would take the out over at first. But Gavin Shattuck scores, and it's 6-5. Yard Dogs lead in the bottom of the 7th. Tegan Riley now running at third. Jake Wiley, we're going to score that a fielder's choice. And an RBI as Riley now runs at first. And here is Andrew Thornhill, who takes strike 1. Oh, 1. That one in there called strike 2. Mohana's 0-2. There goes the runner. That one's above the head of Thornhill, and it's 1-2. So now 2 runners back in scoring position for the Yard Dogs. They have the lead. Can they add to it? Better question is, can Thornhill get something to hit? 1-2. That one cut on and fouled off. A look for Polnitz the second. And Thornhill maybe went after one he shouldn't have there. He fouls out. 2 down, 2 men on still for the Yard Dogs. And Tanner Pechoric, 2 for 2 tonight. 2 singles, 2 RBIs, and a run scored.
University shortstop number 9, Tanner Butchor.
Big spot for him here, can add to that Yard Dog lead. First pitch to him. In there, called strike 1. Mohana nods. The 0-1 comes home to Pachork. This one driven deep to left field. Lewis on the run. That one will hold up, though, as he's shy of the warning track. And makes a catch for out number 3, but not before. The Yard Dogs score 2 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. They take a 6-5 lead as we go to the final 2 frames. Come on back. This is Bryan Yard Dog Baseball. Game 2 of a 3-game set between these two. Tomorrow night, 7:05, we're right back at it for the last game of the 12-game homestand. As leading off, Trevor Newby will stand in. Klein's first pitch, fastball up in the zone, taken for a ball. Newby 1 for 2 today with a single, 2 runs scored. He also drawn a walk that came back in the 6th. 1-0 offering. Taken low, 2 balls, no strikes. You can close the book on Isaac Borges tonight. He probably will like to forget 2 innings pitch. He gives up 4 hits on 3 runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout for him. Grant Klein, the first pitcher, or the 4th pitcher of the night for the Yard Dogs. 2-0 to Newby here. Sent up the third baseline, and that's a fair ball. Newby off and running. It's all the way down into the corner, and Newby will have 2 bases easily. Leadoff double. Newby, 2 hits for him. And here comes Fort Scott, Will. They've done a good job of this entire series answering whenever the Yard Dogs either take a lead or, score runs.
Exactly.
This is really the first, this is the first time late in a game between these two in this series that Yard Dogs have had to protect the lead. Here's Bodie Mauser. He is 1 for 2 today. Hit by pitch, a single, RBI, 2 runs scored. It's an 0-1 count to him as Klein lands a fastball.
Yeah, because yesterday they lost the lead in the 4th or the 5th inning, something like that?
Yeah, lost it in the top of the 5th, and Fort Scott just ran away with it from there. The 0-1 slider missed somewhere. It looked like a strike from up here, but it's a 1-1 count. One-one. Fastball bounces in there. 2 balls and 1 strike. To the 9-hole hitter for the Dragoons. Klein pauses, the 2-1, sent foul into the netting. Counts evened up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Trevor Newby running out at second base after his leadoff double. 7th hit of the night for Fort Scott. Yard Dogs clinging to that 1-run lead here in the top of the 8th. 2-2 to Bodie Mauser. Breaking ball sent in play up the middle. Pachorik makes the play over to first. Another sliding attempt by Bodie Mauser at first base. But he is out number 1.
Once again, A for effort on the slide. Made it close, that's for sure.
Trevor Newby moves up to third base of the tying run 90 feet away for Julian Gaston, and only 1 out.
Center fielder number 21, Julian
Gaston 1 for 3 today. Has also drawn a walk and stolen a base. Infield comes in with that tying run at third base. Righty-lefty matchup, Klein's first pitch. Taken low for ball 1. One-oh bounces in there. Klein comes in for his 4th appearance here. 5.40 ERA, 5 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts to 3 walks. Whip under 1. Two-0 to Gaston. Chopped foul up the first baseline. Fort Scott scored 2 runs in the 5th, 3 runs in the 6th, threatening here in the 8th. Bryan, 1 run in the 4th, 3 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. Julian Gaston, the 2-1. Bounces away from Valerius, but thankfully Trevor Newby, the DH, not a lot of speed there at third. So he will hold up. Good job by Valerius to get to that one as quickly as he could. But it's a 3-1 here to Gaston. Going to pick a spot and hope he gets it. Klein set. Here comes the 3-1. Check swing, fouled off. Julian Gaston gives a gift to Klein, and the counts run full. Samuel Padilla standing on deck. He's got 2 hits tonight and 4 RBIs. So getting out number 2 here would be big. The payoff to Gaston. Taken outside corner, called strike 3. Pretty pitch from Grant Klein. Sits down Gaston. He strikes out for the 2nd time tonight, and there are 2 down in the inning.
right fielder number 15.
5th strikeout as a staff for the Yard Dogs. And now here's Samuel Padilla. 2 for 4 tonight. Double, single, 4 RBIs. Righty-righty matchup as Grant Klein is out of the stretch and set at the belt. First pitch of this at bat. Fastball, letter high, called strike one. Newby led off the inning with a double. He runs at third. The 0-1. Breaking ball gets away from Klein. Valerius keeps it from going to the backstop. Counts evened up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Long look in for Klein. 1-1 on the way. Inside, gets away from Valerius. Not far enough, though, for an advance, and now it's 2 balls, 1 strike. But the way Padilla is swinging it tonight, I'd be okay with working around him. The issue a walk here wouldn't be the end of the world because you got Ulysses Hernandez on deck. He's 0 for 3 tonight, but he is a lefty. Would be facing the righty. This one sent to the right side and under the glove of Shaddix. It's a game-tying single for Samuel Padilla. He's driven home 5 of the 6 Fort Scott runs tonight, and we are knotted at 6 runs apiece in the top of the 8th inning. Now here's Ulysses Hernandez to continue the inning. Frustrating night for sure at the ballpark for the Yard Dogs, but it's not over till it's over.
Exactly.
We're all tied up in the top of the 8th. First pitch misses upstairs to Ulysses Hernandez for ball 1. Long pause in between pitches, the 1-0. Gets a big swing and a miss from Hernandez. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Big lead over at first for Padilla. We'll see if he's off and moving. There he goes. Put in play, back up the middle, and that's a base hit. Padilla will go from first to third. The throw in is offline, so Padilla into third safely, and runners will be at the corners. This inning continues for Fort Scott. And here comes Cedric Painish. I think there was some jawing in between Hernandez and Grant Klein, as Klein had his back turned. Padilla started to come home, but umpire rules the play dead. Warnings issued to both benches. And that'll raise the intensity just a little bit more as we're tied up at 6 here. Runners at the corners and 2 outs in the top of the 8th. And now Cedric Polnitz the second. 0 for 3 tonight, does have a walk. Grant Klein ready for this battle. Here comes the first pitch home. Fastball put in play to the left side. Tough play for Pachorek. He'll go to first, and the throw pulls him off the bag, and a tag not applied by Thornhill. And Fort Scott has the lead. Might be a hit, might be an error, as we're going to have a quick conversation. But from up here, it didn't look like Thornhill was able to apply the tag. They'll give him a hit and an RBI, and he is safe. Think that's the right call as Padilla comes in to score. Hernandez now runs at second. Cedric Polnitz the second with an RBI infield single. And it's 7-6 in the top of the 8th.
Number 28, third baseman Jackson Vernon.
Yard Dogs take the lead. Fort Scott answers right back and grabs it from them.
Like we said, they've been able to answer with more than one run just about every time.
Here's Jackson Burnett. First pitch swinging. He comes up empty, and it's 0-1. The clock strikes 10 o'clock here in Bryan College Station. We play on in the top of the 8th. This one lined up the middle. A base hit. We'll see if they send Hernandez. They will hold him, and the bases will be loaded. Arm getting up in the Bryan bullpen now. 4 straight hits for Fort Scott. 5 in the inning. And here comes the pitching coach for the Yard Dogs, Jason Cadell, to have some words with Grant Klein, who inherited the lead. Now, Yard Dogs find themselves trailing by 1. 2 down in the inning, though. All Klein needs is that 1 out and put his offense back out there with a chance to answer. It'll be Zion Lewis, 0 for 2 tonight, has 2 walks. Righty-righty matchup. Ulysses Hernandez running at third. Polnitz to second, out at second. Burnett at first. First pitch to Lewis. Upstairs, ball 1. One-0 offerings, a fastball in the inner half, cut on and missed. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. One. Upstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike now to Zion Lewis, the left fielder for Fort Scott. 7 runs on 11 hits, 2 errors for Fort Scott. Yard Dogs, 6 runs on 4 hits, 1 error. 2-1 to Lewis, misses high, and the count is now 3-1. Lewis back into the box. 3-ball count, nowhere to put him with the bases juiced. 3-1. Inside, ball 4. And that's a bases loaded walk. The inning continues. It's 8-6, Fort Scott. Hernandez will score. Polnitz to second to third. Burnett up to second. 3rd walk for Lewis tonight. This one gets him an RBI, and now the 9th batter of the inning, Thomas Padilla, stands in. He is 0 for 4. Klein's first offering, check swing. I think it landed in the zone anyway, called strike 1. Next offering's fouled off, and now strike away from ending this inning. 8-6 our score. Bases loaded. 0-2 count here to the Fort Scott shortstop, and 2 down in the inning. Klein gears in. 0-2 on the way. Spiked in there. Valerius, good block. Way to keep that in front. Don't know if Polnitz, the second, would have tried. He's the catcher, so not as much speed as some of the other guys on the bases.
Don't see him stealing any bases either much.
Well, they sent him back in the 7th, last inning. He got caught as the lead runner. 1-2 here for Grant Klein. Over 30 pitches in this inning. Line set, the 1-2 here to Thomas Padilla. Low, evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Counts run full now. Got up 0-2 on Thomas Padilla, now 3 straight balls. Of the 34 pitches, only 15 strikes in this inning. Once again, payoff pitch, nowhere to put him. Runners will be going with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That one in there called. Strike 3. Klein executes, picks up the backwards K, is second of the inning, but not before 3 more Fort Scott runs come home on 5 hits. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 8-6, Fort Scott leading your Bryan Yard Dogs. This is Bryan Yard Dog Baseball. Yard Dogs. They trail 8-6 as Drake LaRoche will come into the ballgame for the Dragoons to try to shut this one down. He'll be facing Hunter Barros, Taylor Valerius to lead things off as this one's sent into left field for a base hit. Hunter Barros wasting no time as he swings at the first pitch. The righty LaRoche delivers. 5th hit of the game for the Yard Dogs.
Way to start off the inning there.
It'll bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Taylor Valerius. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
Next up, our catcher, number
Numbers for Drake, he's making his 5th appearance. He's 1-0, 16 innings pitched. He's got a 2.25 ERA, 17 strikeouts, 1.13 whip. Here's the first pitch to Valerius, righty-righty matchup here. Breaking ball hammered, sky high, left field, going to get into foul territory. Burnett giving it a look. Burnett can't get it. It's going to be a really tough play for both Jackson Burnett and Zion Lewis, the left fielder, two closest to it. Yard Dogs looking to answer a 3-run, 5-hit inning from the Fort Scott Dragoons. LaRoche out of the stretch from the first base side of the rubber. He'll pick back over, and in safely is Hunter Barros. This will be the first time the Yard Dogs have faced LaRoche, as this one's chopped up the middle. Could be 2 to second for 1. No turn, as they will get the lead runner, Hunter Barros, on the fielder's choice for out number 1. And we're going to have a pinch hitter here for Brody Cole. Meeting between head coach Paul Rieger and John Byington here, trying to get the scorecard straightened out, I think. As we're going to get some clarification on who this is that is pinch hitting. Numbers change every night. That's nothing new to Summer League baseball, right? People coming and going all the time. But this pinch hitter will dig in with the runner at first base, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Yard Dogs trailing 8-6. We're ready for play. LaRoche will look in. Valerius now the runner over at first. Here's the pitch. This one taken low for ball 1. Pick back over. Valerius in safely. Taylor not a threat to run.
College, number 5, Caleb Galindo.
Put in play, left side, but snagged in the air, and they're going to double off Valerius. That one looked like a hard-hit baseball, and it was, but right into the teeth of the defense. Padilla makes a catch, and the right read back over to first. A 6-3 double play ends the inning. We go to the 9th, 8-6 our score. This is Bryan Yard Dog Baseball. ninth we go. 8-6, Fort Scott leads your Yard Dogs. It's Christian Perez onto the mound for the Yard Dogs. Bryan looking for something on the mound. Keep the Dragoons off the scoreboard as Trevor Newby will lead off the inning. First pitch swinging, and it's a base hit. Third hit of the game for Newby. And Christian Perez rudely greeted in the top of the ninth. That's 12 hits now for Fort Scott.
Couple that in with a bunch of the free passes they've gotten tonight as well.
7 walks issued by this Yard Dog pitching staff, and now Bodie Mauser will stand in. He's 1 for 3, RBI single, 2 runs scored. First pitch to Mauser misses, 1-0. Christian Perez making his 8th appearance on the mound this season, 7.2 ERA, 10 strikeouts to 16 walks. Whip over 2. Perez not someone that's going to overpower you with stuff, but a few outings we've seen, he can land it in the strike zone. This one driven deep to center field. That's going to be over Riley's head. One hops up against the deep left center field wall. Newby will get the stop sign. No, he's got to go because right on his tail is Mauser. Here's the tag, and Newby is out. Newby hesitated because he was getting the stop sign from Paul Rieger. Mauser just ran through second base. He wasn't even looking at Rieger, the third base coach. So Trevor Newby just runs into out number 1, but Bodie Mauser running at third base after his triple, his second hit of the night.
Got to try to get some more insurance runs there.
Here's the top of the lineup. That's what they're going to try to do, and they will add to it right here. First pitch swinging. Gaston makes it 9-6 here in the top of the ninth. 14 hits for Fort Scott. A night that it feels like can't end soon enough for this Yard Dog pitching staff.
Right fielder number 15, Samuel Padilla.
Say that, and it's only a 3-run ball game. Samuel Padilla to the plate. He has 3 hits and 5 RBIs. First pitch, slider down and away for ball 1. But Fort Scott 3 outs away from winning the series. 1-0. Skied into right field. Barros underneath it. Making the catch for out number 2. There's 2 down. Runner at first for Ulysses Hernandez. Hernandez tonight, 1 for 4 with a single and a walk and a run scored.
Number 13, Ulysses Hernandez.
Will be a righty-lefty matchup here. Hernandez, the cause of some controversy earlier in this one. There goes the runner. And it just kicks away from Valerius off of his foot. And taking an extra 90 is Gaston. So now, another insurance run 90 feet away. And a 1-0 count here to Hernandez. Righty-lefty matchup. One 0. Misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. That one almost runs in and gets Hernandez, but he backs out of the way. 3-0 now. Perez trying to land a strike. Rio pitch. Just off, ball 4. 8th walk issued by the Yard Dogs pitching staff tonight. Runners at the corners for Cedric Polnitz II. Polnitz, 1 for 4. Getting his 6th plate appearance here. has an RBI and a walk.
Next up, the catcher number 24, Cedric Polnitz.
Perez set. First pitch in this at bat, fouled straight back for strike one. Nine to 6 our score on the top of the ninth. Fort Scott has added an insurance run. There goes the runner. Hernandez going to swipe second uncontested. Valerius holds on to the baseball with the runner at third base. So 2 runners in scoring position now for Polnitz the second. One. Taken low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Next offering from Perez lands in there, called strike 2. Perez trying to get out of the inning. 2-2. Sky on the infield, foul territory. Third baseman Sawyers lines it up and makes the catch to end the inning, but not before Fort Scott adds a run. They lead 9-6 as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Can the Yard Dogs rally? Catch it on the other side. You're watching Bryan Yard Dog Baseball. Sawyers will look to get the rally started. The 9-hole hitter, Gavin Shaddix, Tegan Riley do up this inning. It's Drake LaRoche back out for another inning of work, looking to close this one out, get the win and the save. As LaRoche winds and deals, first pitch to Sawyers lands in there, called strike 1. After Aiden Quintilla left the game tonight, Scorebook got ugly for Yard Dog pitching. Each of the next 4 pitchers didn't inherit, gave up a run. Sawyer's check swing, foul ball. He's behind 0-2. All but one walked at least one batter. All of them gave up at least 2 or more hits. Fort Scott scoring all 9 runs after the 4th inning. It's 1-2 here. 2 Ryland Sawyers, who's 0 for 2 tonight, 2 Ks, but does have a walk and a stolen base. Drake LaRoche winds and deals a 1-2, almost gets Sawyers, but counts evened up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. Sawyer swings and misses. It's a drop third strike, throw down. In time to get Ryland Sawyer's for out number 1. First strikeout for Drake LaRoche, and there's one down here in the bottom of the 9th.
Second baseman number 17, Gavin
That'll flip the lineup
Shaddix.
over to the top. Gavin Shaddix, 0 for 1 tonight, fouled out in the first, but in the 3rd walked again in the 6th, was hit by pitch and scored a run in the 7th. Righty-righty matchup, first pitch home. Grounded to the left side, a great diving stop by Burnett. Throw across the diamond is up the first baseline, gets away from Hernandez. Shaddix will get into second base. We'll see if they score that an infield single. Yeah, they will. It's a base hit and an error, allowing the extra base. So Gavin Shaddix collects his first base knock of the evening. And a runner is on with 1 away in the bottom of the 9th for Tegan Riley.
Next up for your Yard Dogs, center fielder number 23, Tegan Riley.
Jake Wiley is the tying run. He stands on deck. So still not any worry for LaRoche. He needs to worry about just the batter and not worry about Gavin Shaddix at second. First pitch home to Riley. Swung on, fouled down the right field line. Is going to get out of play.
That's another first one.
Riley tonight 0 for 3. Reached twice, scored a run. Once on an error, once on a hit by pitch. Gavin Shaddix. Lead at second. 0-1 is low to Tegan Riley. Had a fast first 4 innings of this game. We played pretty much half the game in an hour and 20 minutes. But the scoring erupted in the top of the 5th. 1-1, fouled off. Since the top of the 5th, Yard Dogs have been outscored 9-5. Ryan only held the lead in this game for half an inning. They've only really led in this series for about an inning and a half. 1-2 to Tegan Riley. Bounces in there. Evens a count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tegan Riley can reach. That will bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Jake Wiley. Two on the way. There goes the runner. That is into left field. It was a strikeout, but coming in to score is Gavin Shaddix. I was about to say I didn't see a signal from the home plate umpire, but Drake LaRoche dropped in a pretty breaking ball to strike out Tegan Riley for out number 2, his second strikeout of the inning. But Gavin Shaddix comes in to score to make it 9-7 here in the bottom of the 9th. Bases will be empty, though, for Jake Wiley. Yard Dogs down to their final out.
Let's get loud. First baseman number 6, Jake Wiley.
Wiley tonight 0 for 3. Does have an RBI and a walk and a run scored. First pitch to him misses away for ball 1. Nine to 7, our new score on the bottom of the 9th. Our Dogs down to their final out. This might be it. Grounded to the shortstop Padilla. Throw across the diamond is in time. And that'll do it. Fort Scott takes game 2, 9-7, as Yard Dogs pitching just could not find their groove tonight. We'll hit a quick break. Post-game show coming up next. This is Bryan Yard Dog Baseball. Dogs fall to Fort Scott 9-7. Bryan now 19-20. Fort Scott 22-15. As we welcome you in here, Will Fain, Nick Savage. I'm Nick Savage. This is Will Fain to my left. Will, takeaways as we wrap this one up and move on to the 12th and final home game of this long homestand tomorrow.
Big issues you got to go for was, too many free passes. If you didn't walk them, they were certainly getting the hits. I mean, it was clean defense, only 1 error, but you didn't put up the offense like you should have to combat the 9 runs and 14 hits from Fort Scott.
Yep.
So look to bounce back tomorrow night at 7:05.
Yeah, we hope to see you there. The Yard Dogs again fall tonight 9-7. We'll be back tomorrow 7:05 at first pitch. Thank you so much for watching. For Will Fain, I'm Nick Savage. We'll see you tomorrow night. Bryan Yard Dogs fall 9-7. This has been Bryan at Yard Dog Baseball.